Hello and welcome to round 14 of the NPL KG5 tonight between Glenorchy Knights and Clarence Zebras. It's a game with a lot on the line for both teams and a bit of the changing of the guard, I would say. A lot going on behind the scenes, particularly at Glenorchy. A little bit of a rivalry game as well, developed over the last couple of seasons. My name's Alex Mummery. Thank you for joining us here today. It's a chilly old evening here at KG5. Absolutely frigid for an evening kick. A little bit of wind, potentially a little bit of rain. Feels like the snow's coming straight off the mountain. However, both teams hopefully hot up the action on the pitch. Hope you're getting nice and cozy wherever you're tuning in from today. As I said, a bit of an interesting matchup. I think on paper this is a bit of a rivalry game. However, Glenorchy have made a decision midweek to, move on from James Sherman, title-winning coach of a few years ago, and that's really the big news. And it's interesting to see what difference that might make on the park, and certainly with the starting lineups, that's also changed things as well. Will there be a bit of an uplift for this Knights team, or will it be a bit of a redraw? Back to the drawing board. For Clarence, it's been an interesting run. They took a point off Devonport at Valley Road 2 weeks ago, and then I guess another draw at home to Lonnie United the week after. Bit of a mixed bag of a team at the moment. Definitely some talent there and some moves in terms of personnel for them as well. Coach Brian Murphy as well. A little bit of extra spice for him having come down to Tasmania to coach Knights, and he got a similar treatment to Sherman in the end, even though in the end he was in some ways replaced by Sherman, moved on halfway through the season as well. So we'll talk through a lot of those machinations as we go through the game. It's a very interesting sort of game here. In terms of table position as well, Glenorchy really need to get a bit of a move on. A win here for them would separate them from the relegation zone. They still clear of it at the moment, but news coming out of the north today, I think we'll double check this. It only just happened as I was doing our notes. Ulverston getting over the line against Kingborough. So wacky old week in the NPL this week, and very excited to see what might be delivered in this game today. So teams are out for the lineups, and I'll run you through who's out there today. So Glenorchy, the home team in red today. We have Hakarat Singh, the number 2, and Matt Burkic out there, the captain today. Jack Callan, Jeremy George, Zaman Mohammadi, Anthony Mamich leading line. He's one who might be sort of promoted under the new Robbie Bologna caretaker regime. Sort of been in and out of the side. Nick Naden is another one who's been playing a championship all year. Ramiro Villar, who's a player who hasn't played a lot of NPL, but kicking around the championship at different clubs, Taroona University most notably, with Tom Walpole, Adriano Chigankas, and Tom Diven, the keeper today, rounding out the 11 for Glenorchy. So a couple of little changes in there, and we'll talk through more of that later. Clarence, on the other hand, in the all-black today, Josh Jones will be in goals for them with Will Blizzard and Victor Gordon. Sam Toozes has been in great goal-scoring form this season, leading the line for Zebras. Ryan Lynch, Elliot Legoj, Nick Milicic, the captain, Michael Hatcher, one of the imports coming in this season. Jackson Richardson, Josh Matthey, and Keenan Dowse, a very experienced full-back for Clarence. Brenton Copper is out there in the middle, just trying to get the teams in from their little huddles. And my name's Alex Mummery, if I didn't say that earlier. Again, thanks for joining us. It should be a bit of a cracker of a game this evening. And as I said, a little bit of chippiness, just having tuned in a little bit to the under-21s before this. Red card in that game. Apparently 3 people got sent off in that reverse fixture last time. So no love lost between the under-21s, at least in this fixture. And we'll see what happens in terms of the seniors out there today. Everyone out there for Clarence, including the subs for their huddle. They're just taking their time. Glenorchy are ready to go. We'll also say no Riley Dillon today for Glenorchy. So that's a big out as well. Khan Hussein, who's been starting up top for them recently, is on the bench. So a little bit of a change of, just a little bit of a change of personnel under Robbie Bologna. And we'll see if that makes a bit of a difference. Just trolling through some of the social media before this game as well. Again, some more shared kind of personnel with Zebras announcing Zeke Preble, who's been a mainstay for Glenorchy this season, coming back over to Zebras. So, again, a lot of shared sort of history between these two sides, and I think that'll add a little bit of spice to this game as Singh tries to get it up the line. And just out of play over that far side at the moment. Nicely done by Richardson, and his longer cross doesn't trouble Tom Diven in goals for Glenorchy. And I think, the board just making the decision to change things up for Glenorchy recently, and I wonder just how that is going to affect things. I think James Sherman had some availability issues and was looking to rebuild the side a little bit, and interesting to see how that sort of shakes out. Here's Chigankas, and he'll pop it over the top for Burkic, who's made his way forward, and he tries to pop it in the middle, but no one there for the Knights. Tommy Walpole looks like he's gone up top for the Knights today. Again, lots of changing formations. He was playing a bit of right back, a little bit of winger, so that'll be a bit of a change. No Riley Dillon. Here's Chigankas with some nice footwork. He lines it up, had some power behind that and was on target, straight into the back of Douse. And Lagoz taking it through. Mathy. Here's Lynch. The low socks. Lagoz again. Douse. Plays it through and hits it low. Diven down to his left. Victor Gordon, a promising player for Zebras with the shot. Looks like he's sort of playing in that number 9 for Zebras. I'll have a fairly flexible sort of shape with twos staying quite high. Looks like he's either out on that right wing or in the number 10. Quite a narrow little formation for Zebras with Douse providing that width. Very experienced head, Keenan Douse, a lot of years down at the Den. Thrown forward and goes back in. Not the best clearance at all there by Callan, and then Twos earns a foul in a very dangerous area for Clarence. Interestingly as well, I know Jack Glover doesn't always have availability due to his work commitments. I know Glover today at the back for Glenorchy as well. Do wonder whether that experienced head will tend to form better when he's been back there. So that might be a bit of a miss, especially with Preble leaving the club midweek as well. So everyone Lynch over the ball. And pops it over the top and almost finds the back of Tom Diven's net there. Good effort. Classy player. Mohammadi shifting it across. Nick Naden, again, hasn't played a lot of NPL this season and looks like he's playing at the base of midfield. A very experienced customer. Tends to be sitting more up on that wing, at least in previous seasons. So, again, Robbie Bologna sort of throwing a lot of the players around. I think some will feel more comfortable than where they've been playing in previous weeks, and maybe some less so. Matt Burkic looks like he's also pushing up a lot higher, not playing his customary fullback role. And Mathy strong in the challenge, and he tries to spring Jackson Richardson away. Back into twos. It's a nice ball in, and Diven with those long levers easily takes in the end. It's one thing Clarence really lacked over the last few seasons is often a shorter side, especially up front. Gordon on this left wing in particular. Diven quite a tall keeper. Gigankas will get it from Mamic. They'll try to link up, but nothing doing for the Knights. Blizzard just spread it back across to Hatcher. He goes forward, and George, New Zealand import, heading away. A little bit of a scrappy opening 5 minutes from both sides at the moment. And George will shift it across to Diven. He'll bring it back out as well. I guess that's the other question for Knights as well, is sort of, you know, are there going to be more changes personnel-wise over the next little while? Obviously, people coming in to play for James Sherman, and then when the coach goes, do they stick around? Do they go somewhere else, or do they fall out of favour with different coaching staff? All these questions will sort of get a picture towards the end of the match today, as Mohammadi plays a nice direct ball into Walpole. Hatcher with a strong challenge to win it back, and then spread across by Milicic. And Douse, customarily a right fullback, but playing on the left today. Nice little ball in behind by Gordon. Will Douse keep it in? He just does, but had to stretch for it. Wind's a little bit blustery here at KG5 today. Been a bit off and on. If it's blowing any direction, it is towards the left of screen, towards the river at the moment. As I said, it does feel like the weather's coming straight off the mountain here. As George goes up and hits him in the shoulder, and that'll be a corner for the Zebras. And Douse, such a good corner taker. Assister of many over the seasons here in NPL Tasmania. Back post this time. Flicked back in the middle, and Diven should claim, and does, with, again, those rangy long arms. Just wanting to settle it down. Won't have much time to get rid of it, but we'll play it to Callan. Callan wants something and gets it in Mamic. Mohammadi. He's going to have to play the skip pass up, and Milicic in strong. Gigankas with some tricks. Looks like he's playing a bit more centrally today as well, and he'll try and release it out wide. Doesn't quite find the range on the pass. Jones with the clearance. Into Richardson. Big sliding challenge coming in, and then a follow-up. Very stiff from Rami Villar. Outside of the boot ball from Matthews, creative. Douse will tee this one up again. And this wind is picking up just as I said it was dropping off. Very blustery here. In swinging again, and doesn't even trouble Divon's front post this time. Uncharacteristically off Keenan Dowse. Trucking up and down this left wing for the Zebras. I guess this is a bit of a turning point for Zebras this season. They have been struggling the last couple of years. I think at the start of the year, some may have pegged them to be probably where Glenorchy are in terms of position on the table. Last year, only just sort of finishing off the bottom. Again, a little bit of chaos around some of the coaching moves over the last 2 seasons. Nicely taken in, and again, it's well done by Lynch. A few cuts, and he's looking very dangerous. And I think some of these teams do sort of swing on their import players. It looks like there's been a few come in this season for Zebras, just to freshen things up and keep that energy. The other thing they do well is they do have a very extensive junior program. And championship sides are doing better this season as well. So I think most people around the club do feel a feeling of positivity, even if last week's result against Lonnie United might have been a little bit of a letdown given the respective positions on the table. And South East have sort of got the results they've needed to steer clear of that relegation zone. They're only a point behind Glenorchy at the moment. And if they do manage to jump up above the Knights, that will spark panic stations. I know they did just sack the coach, so I'm assuming they're already viewing it as that. Here's Burkic cutting inside. He tees it up to the back stick. A little header back from Dowse. Had to be pinpoint. And easily done by Josh Jones. He'll take it and just roll it out to Dowse. And Milicic, the captain. This ball looking for Vic Gordon. It's well rolled by the young winger. Running on is Lynch. It's very impressive as Cullen got there. Lynch goes near post. He goes around the keeper and classily sticks it away. And Ryan Lynch with the opening marker. 12 minutes gone in this one. I have to say, Glenorchy potentially had that dealt with and just couldn't make the clearance. And skipping past a number of challenges, kept his feet, and you can see how light he is on his feet. And point blank goal in the end for Ryan Lynch, who's been a spark plug for Zebras so far today. And that will give them a bit of confidence just heading in to this game. Things are settling in, and an early goal is always a nice sign. Burkic will try and get one for Knights back. Chigankas will give it back to Naden. Singh, using his pace well, runs on. He's got a bit of space and elected to sort of go near post when he definitely could have cut it back. That's just a young player. Again, using that pace nicely. It could be something for the Knights to sort of build on with Burkic. That more experienced head playing a lot of fullback in his time and covering for the younger Harkarat Singh. Callan, potentially, I think he did well to get his body in front of Lynch, but and couldn't make the crucial challenge. And Dowse will just slow it down. Long throw from Milicic. Will fall for Matthew. Look back to Ryan Lynch. Turns through 2 challenges. Naden able to make a good tackle for Glenorchy. And then squirts the ball past Matthew. And then will release Burkic here. There's a little bit of space on that left-hand side for Glenorchy at the moment. Does Glenorchy want to keep it here? Chigankas, he'll look to roll forward. Reverse ball. Tries to poke it around and then gets stuffed. Mamic making a nice little run. Couldn't keep his feet. Burkic again roaming down this left-hand side. Back up Walpole. And well in. Big challenge there by Hatcher. And George will collect for Glenorchy. Pace is quite high in this one, as you might expect between these two sides. No team really wanting to sit on the ball. It's a lot of forward-minded football at the moment. Milicic. Well in by Villar. Doesn't quite get possession for Glenorchy though. It does force them back all the way to Jones, who makes a bit of a sliced clearance. Lynch will take it down nicely. Jackson Richardson will bring it down. Here's Twos. Pokes it through to Gordon. Puts on the afterburners. Glenorchy trying to form a bit of a wall for Richardson. And they manage to effectively win the ball back. Hatcher, no foul, says the referee. Nice spin from Mamic, and another nice spin. Hatcher left his foot in, but Mamic got his way around. Giankas, Mohammadi. I do want to go forward quickly, Glenorchy. Giankas a lot more involved. That's a decent ball with Mamic making a nice run. Mohammadi. Villar. Reverse pass again. Mamic. Trying to just sort out his feet. Didn't quite work. As it's hit well. That's a magnificent save by Josh Jones. Absolute bullet sent in there by Rami Villar. I don't think Jones would have expected a shot from that sort of angle. Almost found the top corner. Would have been an absolute banger, and Glenorchy have responded well since going behind. Sometimes it's just that little bit of a wake-up call that is needed, as much as no team would want to concede. They're pushing for one now. I was just going to remark on, again, just remarking on some of the differences, not saying whether it's better or worse. It's not for me to say, really, but Giankas playing in the middle today as a number 10. He was playing a lot of wing sort of stuff. He'll put it in. Maiden with a free header. Just goes straight down into the ground. Knights with some good pressure here. Walpole tries to put it back in. And I think that's definitely some contact there, but maybe sold a little bit as well. And Zebras will just say, let's have Jones sit on it. And it could go a little bit quicker here, though, with Glenorchy a little bit out of position. Now getting quite high here, Glenorchy, with Walpole pressing Jones. Had to take evasive action. Slipped over in the process, and Glenorchy will come forward again here. Naden looks for that reverse pass. Flick back on. Here's Nick Naden. It's Naden again. He goes down and is clipped, and it will be a penalty. Referee makes the decision. Nick Naden making his return to the NPL side over the last couple of weeks. Making that late run through, and classy feat to win the penalty for Glenorchy. It will be Giankas to take by the looks of it. And as I said, since going behind, it's been all Knights. They've been right on the hammer of the Zebras' defence. Can they knot it back up? Josh Jones in the goal for Clarence. A bit of time at Glenorchy a few seasons ago. Didn't quite make the push through at the senior level for them. It's been a good performer for them so far. So it is Giankas stepping up and takes it well. Josh Jones went the right way. enough power on it and just over his head. And that will be 1-1 for the Knights. Really pleasing response, you'd have to say, if you're a Knights supporter or a coach. Really struck straight back in this one after a bit of brilliance from Lynch to put Zebras up. And that might be a bit of a confidence booster for the Knights. And they're playing at home. And the work rate's been good so far. I think they just needed a bit of a wake-up call. As Callan's header actually will release Burkic here. Out of play, and Singh to throw it back in. Now Zebra's turn to try and press. Very congested in that midfield area for both teams. Long raking ball from Matthew. It's a little bit wayward. Jack Callan to move it up. Nice long ball. It's found a good channel. Chigankas is in there. Mamic is released by Walpole. Another sliding challenge. Had to be clean there, Milicic. In well again, the Zebras captain. And he's poked it away and out for a Zebras throw. I think, again, this is a really nice sort of interchangeable front four they've sort of playing at the moment. Knights. Naden up and didn't quite catch his header. I think a good confidence booster for Chigankas with that penalty. I know this just depends, but we saw this morning how wrong those can go. I think I have a bit of trauma even just watching that pen with Socceroos result. Hope you're stuck with us after a long day of football. Really good game in the WSL earlier. As just remark on Gordon going down, straight back up though. Mohammadi with a releasing pass to Walpole. Doesn't sit up for him though. Yeah, and sometimes KGV pitch. That's a tackle from behind, and the advantage is paid. Mamic maybe doesn't have a lot of advantage, honestly, and then gives away a free kick in the end. Big Jackson Richardson coming in, sorting things out. I don't know if I'd be too happy with the definition of advantage there from the referee. Definitely a foul on the way out, though. However, Mamic had the ball, but I don't know if there's much in that. Walpole will need to step back if he doesn't want to eat the first slice of cheese. And so far, a nice close game here at KG5. Both teams just starting to get into their possession play. Milicic, long diagonal. Nice control from Richardson. Gordon hits it low and hard. Well wide in the end. Good trajectory, though. Good energy in this one today. Not the biggest crowd. Again, weather probably playing a slight impact in that. And I think more people, particularly on the night side, are up in those nice new club rooms, so it's a little bit warmer. Callan clears. Blizzard. And just petering out a little bit for the Zebras. They've looked most threatening when they've been able to get Ryan Lynch on the ball. He hasn't had quite as much of it since that first goal has gone in. It's a nice quick feet from Gordon. Callan, an important interception. Milicic does the same for Zebras. Lots of turnovers at the moment. Lynch in lots of space, can't step off him. He'll wind up and hit it well and almost find top bins off the crossbar. You won't see a ball hit much better than that. And fine margins to not put Zebras 2-1 up there. Lynch is making things happen for them, but Glenorchy have a counter-attacking opportunity. Walpole in a bit of space. Chigankas tries to shift out and goes down. Copper right there, definitely making the most of that one. I think enough contact, but just one of those ones where it didn't really seem like it's the direction that he was falling in. Tries to release Burkic again. Good pace to get there, and actually the ball stayed in with some interesting spin on it. Almost like a little basketball and you spin it on your finger. A spinning top. You see that too often. Again, ball does do interesting things on this KG5 pitch. It's less severe than it used to be since it got relayed, but it does grip a lot more than natural grass. That can be good for fast football, but can also make it quite difficult to read at times. As Richardson goes wide to Dowse. Dowse with some space. Gordon comes close. Got twos at the back stick. It's an interesting little cross and given nicely and clean. And they're trying to move it quickly, Glenorchy. Again, lots of pace in this one. No team wanting just to sit on the ball and pass it between their centre-backs. It's all forward movement at the moment, which, from a neutral perspective, is quite something to watch. Just tick past the 26th minute here at KG5. Callan's crossfield ball just picked out in the nick of time by Sam Twos. Naden in some space. Created the opportunity for Knight's goal with the penalty. Reverse pass. Walpole is just offside. Referee Claire Green making the flag. I think if you're a Knight supporter, you'd be reasonably encouraged by the way they've responded to going 1-0 down. You know, it must be a little bit difficult moving on from an NPL winning coach, and it wasn't that long ago. I know it's a very, very different squad, but always a bit of a strange feeling around a club when the coach leaves a club. Lagoj starting to get a bit more on top of it, but no space at all. Callan. Nice and patient. Naden on the half turn. Through ball for Mamic. He's got Milicic for company. And Mamic, classically unpredictable. Almost predictably unpredictable, as you might say. Tries to knock that one over the top. Bit of a ricochet. Knights don't have anyone in the middle at the moment. Burkic is just trying to make it into the back stick as Milicic uses his body well. Again, very even contest so far. Zebras definitely started the better side, and Ryan Lynch has been an absolute live wire for the Zebras as he tried to get the ball there, and Hatcher said, no, I'll just thump it forward. I think the more he gets on the ball, the more they're going to create today. Looks in some sort of mood. Hatcher. Should say of the Michael variety. I know a long time Zebras player Kane Hatcher is still around the squads, but not out there today. Nicely done by Richardson. When he's been able to hold it up, he's been playing nice and simply. Gordon. Nice feet. So there's a little bit of range is starting to fall here at KG5. It's very, very light at the moment. You can just see it in the lights. Almost like a misty sort of fog. You might end up And a bit of fog here later. Classic midwinter's night game at KG5. As Zebras look to just maintain possession for a period of time. Nicely done by Hatchet. Shifted his hips around Walpole. Easy ball to Lagoj. Turns around a few Knights players, and a little pinball created a bit of confusion back there for George. Mamich. Naden. And then Mohammedi with the long ball forward. Walpole just bodies out Milicic. I think that was just fair enough, 50-50 there. Matthew should have some time. Pokes it through for Gordon. See the vision there from the youngster. A few little afters between Milicic and Walpole. Big sliding challenge from Naden. Got the ball. And then on the second challenge, he did not. Standing challenge that time. And again, there can be a little bit of chippiness between these two sides. Again, I think some of that is built up from off the pitch stuff too with coaching. That fault for Zebras earlier in the year, I think was, at the time, felt like a big boil over them beating Knights. But since then, they've had some really good results throughout the season. Draw up at Valley Road, I know it is only a point, but may have just put a little bit of a dampener in Devonport Strikers' title hopes. I think with today's result against Kingborough, that will help out the Strikers, at least in their battle for second, but South Hobart, who have their game fairly sure washed out due to all the rain up in Lonnie. I'll be sort of sitting back and kind of hoping the chaos keeps happening to their title rivals. Long throw from Milicic. Dummy from Villar works out well. See, he has a bit of a different style of football to a lot of players. And that's an excellent diagonal from Mohammedi. The overlapping run of Chigankas will corral the ball. Back out to Matt Burkic. Singh. Chips up to the back stick. Back in by Douse, but it's into the danger zone. Does it fall for a Knights player? It does! Falling behind him and on the half volley. Tom Walpole with an excellent finish. Straight into the top corner for Glenorchy. Headed from Douse, went straight back into the danger zone. And after a couple of bounces, a little scissor kick, flying side volley. Tom Walpole with a cracking finish. As I said, this game just keeps delivering. We could be in for a bit of a goal fest today if this keeps going. Knights with some good energy since going 1-0 down. I think that'll buoy their fans. Again, mostly sitting in the club rooms in the warm today. There's a few over the other side of the grandstand here at KG5. I'll be very happy with that. Zebras, on the other hand, I feel like the first 15 minutes, I thought maybe it'd be easy for them. I don't think anything is ever easy in any football game. Maybe ones that I play in the opposition, but at least at NPL level, evidenced by a big upset earlier today. And 10 minutes in the half to go. I have a feeling this could be a high-scoring game generally, but maybe even a high-scoring draw. Knights fans will want to keep it at 2-1 for as long as they can. And Diven will get it out to George. And looks to release Burkic. Had some success down that left-hand side and does Blizzard all ends up. Walpole again goes to the top of the box. Chigankas was there, but nothing going. Here's Lynch in best on for Zebras so far. Goes past one player, can't go past another. There's Hakarat Singh coming across and making a nice challenge. That was late by Villar. Here's Lynch again. Nice feet. Turns inside, hits it on the left and almost puts it away. He's peppering the crossbar tonight, Ryan Lynch. Danger not cleared though. Gordon goes near post and hits Diven in the shoulder. And you can see Zebras number 10, disappointed. He's been hitting some excellent long shots. And it could be 3-1 up here, Zebras, with a little bit of extra luck from Ryan Lynch. He might already have a first half hat-trick. I mean, very, very impressive. Hatcher slides it around and then Douse. Sort of getting used to the speed of Tasmanian football, Hatcher. Ball coming through. Lynch again. So classy. Gordon. Here's Lynch. And this time just wide. Nice power on it. Nice height. Drives it into the shed behind the goals. And Ramiro Villar will eat a yellow card. A bit of a slice of cheese for the Glenorchy player. Was a little bit, well late on the challenge and fairly unnecessary too. So he will have to walk the tightrope for the rest of the game. Chigankas with the touchdown. Gets away from him. The Canadian. Owens Naden. Naden wants a free kick and doesn't get one. He got the ball and then the man got him. It didn't go down. I think if he did go down, it would have been a free. Doesn't matter. Glenorchy have it anyway. Mamich maybe just... Okay, no, does find Burkic there. Stands it back up. Walpole loses his feet, but does get to the ball first. Sorry, Chigankas there. And this time Hatcher moving through. Can he release twos? Just needed a bit more width on that one. And Diven will pick up. And very end-to-end, all action here at KG5. It was a very evenly matched game. I think fitting of match of the round for this week. Callan. Well, Glenorchy just trying to set something up. George. A little bit of a dicey back pass and thumped forward by Villar. He just thought, let's just get it up there. And Glenorchy pressing quite high here. The back line not dropping off at all. And Chigankas is going to chase. Looks like they're putting that high press on. Matthew says, I'll just avoid the press and play it nice and high and long. Naden, his head just goes straight back down. Here's Lynch in space. Can't leave him alone for too long. Wide to Gordon. Overlapping run comes from Douse and well marshalled by Mamich, who's making a nice defensive run. Corner comes in. Twos was right on the keeper and Copra well aware of how he was blocking Diven off, and does give away a free kick. I think referees fairly sensitive to that sort of stuff after this last Premier League season. Little screens, see at the World Cup, it's refereed very differently to how it has been. Diven taking a little bit of extra territory on this one. And he wants to launch it long. 5 minutes to go in the half. Will we see another goal before the referee blows for it? Lagoj gets it out to Douse. Lagoj comes for it again. Got Chigankas on his tail. Hatcher with some space to run. Callan, some good attacking. I think he got the ball there. Oh, and big collision. It sounded... it didn't sound good. That's what I wanted to say. A lot of contact there. Oh, like shin pad on shin pad to me. And it will be a free kick. Lovely wide diagonal again. There's been some lovely long passing from the Knights in particular. Douse away. I think it did just take a little nick off Anthony Mamich. Lagos. See, Knights press tonight. Yeah. Really trying to pressure these wide areas. Box Zebras right in. I think if they can sort of get that overlap outside of this press, they are away. George trying to push through. Richardson out battles in. It's a 4-on-3 here. Got Lynch queuing up the back post. It's Ryan Lynch. He puts it away, but the flag is up on the far side. So that will be rubbed out. Again, Lynch looking threatening for the Zebras, but maybe just straight off. Decisive decision back there, as most decisions are. Don't see too many indecisive decisions. And it's interesting now, you sort of see the swings and roundabouts of this first half. It's been a lot of momentum for both sides, as that's an early challenge from Mamich. Doesn't collect the ball or a player, so no free kick. Milicic does this time and just kicked his feet out a little bit at Mamich. I think Mamich just pushing him off, and then the two number 7s over this far side are just trying to get the ball back quickly, but I think hold it up as well. And Villar's over this one. It's an interesting little spot. If you had a left footer, you might say you'd go for goal here. He'll have to either sneak it in the top corner on this near side or go for a bit of a risky kind of bendy one where Jones will probably be posted up at the back stick. So assume that Villar will cue it up. The tall timbers come up from the back. Villar this time with that out-swinging knuckleball. That's probably the other shape you could use to score. It's the right thing to, that sort of shot to make from that angle. However, well outside the frame. Forward again go Clarence. Milicic, Douse. And Mamich just delays the Zebras' attack just for now. Not long to go in this first half. 2-1 the scoreline. Little flick on by Lynch. Gordon. And Mohammadi celebrating the miscontrol. He wants Villard deeper. A little dab in. Nice turn around the corner. Mamic is in a pocket of Zebras players, though. And coming for Burkic, who's moved into the midfield. Singh. Nice pace from the fullback again. Chigankas with those step overs. Fancy footwork. Chips it back up. I don't think Villard knew too much about that one. Mohammadi with the win. Villard will try to go around Douse. Douse shoves in. Villard with some space. Low ball at the front post. Walpole in some good position. The follow-up's good though. Walpole again. And no purchase. And Josh Jones, I think, will be grateful for that. And you can see just that chippiness just starting to bubble up. I think both sides just starting to get into each other's grill a little bit. And as I said, somewhat of a rivalry game. Maybe traditionally more so between Hobart Zebras and Glenorchy Knights. I think Clarence more so with other Eastern Shore clubs. But given they're amalgamated and given the history between some of the shared players and coaches, definitely the sort of thing that's bubbled up. As Brenton Copra blows for the full-time whistle, as both a lot of players just trying to get some clarifications on rules. It seems like it's all smiles over there, though, between the players. That will be half-time as those discussions keep happening over there. Just keep half an eye on that as both teams come in for a drink. It's been a good comeback for Glenorchy. They found themselves 1-0 down for a fantastic bit of, Ryan Lynch solo goal and responded with a penalty taken by Gankas. And then Walpole with a fantastic finish. One of the better goals you'll see. Maybe a challenger for goal of the week. Zebras have had a lot of chances themselves. Lynch has peppered the woodwork. 2 crossbar long bombs and then almost coming to score an offside goal. So it's been an entertaining game. I hope you're enjoying it at home. I'll let you have a little bit of a break. Put the kettle on, grab a cuppa, and we'll join you back here in just a few moments.
We've made some new hires. Ooh.
Introducing Macca's Korean Barbecue Dunk Range.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. This game around
Welcome back to KG5 for the second half of this round 14 NPL matchup between Glenorchy and Clarence. Just waiting for the spectators who've had their halftime heroes to clear the pitch. Let's see, new assistant coach for Glenorchy, Brett Pullen, trying to get the kids off there. Glenorchy already out, they're keen to go. Zebra is just taking a little bit of extra time in the sheds in this second half, maybe to stay warm, but also eventually some extra instructions. If you're just joining us, it is 2-1. Fantastic finish by Tom Walpole, the difference in this one so far. And it's been a pretty cagey affair, lots of momentum swings, Zebras with some good play. And yeah, maybe not showing it quite on the scoreline. Ryan Lynch, the scorer of the first goal for Zebras, has been absolutely fantastic. I think will be a real player to watch throughout the rest of this NPL season. We're all settled in at home. It is quite chilly out here, as I've probably remarked a few times. But good conditions. The wind's starting to drop off a little bit. I think both teams are nicely into their work at the moment. The Knights, this could be a really big 3 points for them. It's been a bit of a struggle this season. Only really beaten the Cellar Dwellers. And it's been an interesting, day in the NPL with like a Seljuk Cup winners Kingborough, winners against Devonport last week. Upset by Ulverston earlier today. Devonport doing the business against Riverside as well. As we're underway back here at KG5. Zebras trying to start with some energy. Here's Victor Gordon. Ball into the back post. Twos. And easily out of play in the end. But Two's one of these kind of plays better in the air than his height might suggest. Can always be a little bit dangerous. Should say that Jaden Hay has come on for the Zebras as he just released the ball there. Very experienced player. We'll just try to confirm. Again, we don't have the benefit of a nice fourth official substitution board. We'll just check some numbers and confirm who's gone off for Clarence. Glenorchy look to be unchanged. Perhaps they might. Callan. Richardson will bring it down in front of him. Long diagonal ball. Two's in space. A little bit over the head. Hasn't had a lot of the ball so far, Two's today. Ball in. And Gore goes down, but referee says it's actually infringed Mohammadi. Maybe Josh Matthew, who has gone off for the Zebras, which is interesting. Former captain of the side, just a few years ago. Pressing is good from Villar. Jones's ball get mopped up by Matt Burkic. He's sitting in an unfamiliar midfield position, but doing quite well so far. Chigankas, clean feet. That's seemed like a bit of a pullback, but referee says it's clean. Singh. It's going to have to be nice and calm here, and is. Little touch around the corner for Naden. Hey. Richardson's ball. Just a little bit off target for Lynch. Naden swanning his way through the middle. Sets back up for Chigankas. Low and hard. Sets up for the back post finish. Naden with some space, took it on his left, had more time than he thought, and gets some afters from Milicic for scuffing his lines a bit. They had a lot of time at the back post. Almost shocked me up here in the stand as well. Would have clocked that he was onside for a second, but obviously with the ricochet, he was. That'll be potentially a bit of a tough one to miss for Glenorchy, but they're going forward again here. Milicic across, and then bumps Chigankas after he wins it. Again, there's a little bit of rain around as well. It's not really noticeable. It's just a bit of spray, but you might not be able to see on these set of cameras, but just in the light, there's just a little bit of kind of spray coming in, which should actually slicken up the passing on this artificial deck. So probably a good thing for the players out there, given it's not too heavy. Milicic lumps it forward. Big jump from Mohammadi. No free kick. Nodded forward again by Milicic. Hay tries to bring it down, but only goes to Burkic. Villar's ball a bit skew with. And Singh. Oh, high boot potentially. Advantage is paid. Ball in is a clean one. They'll stop it for a head injury after the advantage. I think what's happened there was the boots were a little bit high, but the ball from the high boot smashed Gordon straight in the face. That's an uncomfortable one. You never like to receive a falcon at any time, but definitely from that sort of distance. And referee did pick it up and chose to play advantage as that rain just gets a little bit heavier. And they will take a drop ball. I think Glenorchy will have possession. Gordon just momentarily will come on. Just Callan to take. And George making a pretty easy little error. Here's Richardson. Can he make amends? It's a little bit behind the frame of the goal. I think as both teams just adapt to these changing conditions, it's been a bit of a scratchy start to the second half. Zebra's playing in a fairly straightforward 4-3-3 at the moment. So their little tweak will be that Hay will probably sit just a bit more, just in his, I don't want to say advanced stage, but later career, Jaden Hay. Back before the cup final, we're doing some research. Yeah, just seeing a very young Jaden Hay playing for Dosa of all clubs way back in the day. As Richardson can't find the feet of Lynch. But I think I was checking out highlights of a former Knights player, and in some ways came up through the Knights system, Jaden Hay. And a cup winner in their pretty famous Seljuk Cup win in the early 2010s. Has played at a few different clubs now. South Hobart and both Clarence and Hobart Zebras as well as Knights. Again, you get that with long careers in the NPL. That's not the best clearance from Mohammadi. Lynch trying to send through to Richardson. George in the right spot. And again, it's almost sideways raining here at KG5 at the moment. Very grateful to be in the sand on this side. If the wind was going the other way, we'd be in a bit of strife. So it is a cross-field wind, and I think, again, Hatcher got ball, left it in a little bit for Mamic, who got collected and is in some pain. Nice feed again from Lynch. Lynch again. Mamic is back up. Step overs from Douse. Stands it back up. Two's almost with the poke around the corner. Hay coming around the outside. Stands back up. Victor Gordon with the shot and blocked. Good pressure from Zebras here. Hatcher coming forward now. And he goes wide for Keenan Douse. Trying to sort his feet out. Gets it back to Hatcher, who does put it in, and Diven will take that nice and easy. Maybe he's put Chigankas in some trouble, but potentially has actually set him off free. He'll get past Blizzard for now. Blizzard back in well, but Chigankas gets it back. Blizzard thinks he gets fouled, tries to to put a little move on Giankas, but well read by Lagoj. Long ball here. Callan's going to have to get up, and does. And then Mohammadi slips. Tooze has come over to this right-hand side now. And Gordon will shift it through to Lynch, the danger man for Zebras. Back up for Ryan Lynch. Ball roll. Goes back the other way on his left foot. Finds the target, but easily enough taken by Diven. George will try to send Knights forward now. Villar. Reverse pass. Taken fairly well by Michael Hatcher. Settling into his work now. This might be his full NPL debut. Gordon cutting in behind. Doesn't catch it cleanly. We'll get a second shot at it. The ricochet! Bounces its way in. Took a touch off about 3 different Knights players. Found its way into the bottom corner with Victor Gordon nodding it back up for Clarence Zebras. Said has been a game that has swung in its momentum. And another little twist in the tail for this one. 2-2 now at KG5. Young Gordon getting himself in a good position, and that's what happens if you shoot from good spots. Anything can happen at times, and basically anything did. And they immediately pinch it back through Lynch. Lynch with some space. Mohammadi making a crucial interception. And it's been a really topsy-turvy sort of game. Zebra's starting to really put some pressure on Knights now, though. Naden. Nice ball out for Singh, who's got wheels. That maybe doesn't have the end product, but Mamich bowls over Jones. And I think just sorting out some extra contacts. It's just being shielded off by Milicic. Milicic and Mamich really... should be a little affair between those two at least. I think that's all, again, all smiles between the two, but maybe a little bit of lip on the ground as well. As, again, Knights maybe just not adapting to the slicker conditions there. A little bit far out in front for Anthony Mamich. Benches for both teams will come into play at some point. Well, already has for the Zebras with Jaden Hay coming on. But that could be a little subplot of this game. How will teams adapt their style? Knights with Khan Hussein, who's played a lot for them this season. Very, very young player up front. Sort of absolute worldie against Kingborough a few weeks ago. Here's Tooze. He's got plenty of space. Drives inside. Tries to put it outside for Gordon this time. Sorts his feet out. Good foot in by George, though. Hey. Finds a great overlap from Dowse. It just swung in front of the fullback, and the veteran combination there not quite coming together on that point. Almost half an hour to go in this one. And as I said, topsy-turvy sort of game. I think a draw may be fairly fair at the moment, but Hay will wind up, and another big deflection. And Zebras well on top here in the second half. Pushing for a third to go up in this game again. Keenan Dowse is trotting his way over in his characteristic little gait. Doesn't have a lot of tall timber to aim at. Hatchet has come up. Goes back stick this time. Again, Diven has a lot of traffic in front of him. Burkic get out to Chigankas. Walpal's got space. It's just not the ball. It needed to be well out in front of the Glenorchy Knights flying striker. Diven trying to play through the middle. Been able to clog that up pretty well in this second half, the Zebs. Out goes Naden and Mamic just offside. A little bit of an unnecessary one. Can be a little bit of a coach killer at times. Just straying off. You could just keep possession. No real need to be that far in front. And again, this rain trying to swirl around again. Hatcher. Ball into Hay. Nicely spread out to Blizzard. Little Blizzard with some space to run. Speculative ball for twos. And we'll go out for a goal kick. Gave his winger a lot to do there. Little Blizzard. You can see sort of the change in this Zebras side, I think. It's just a challenging sort of situation, even under Brett Pullen before that. I think under Brian Murphy, there is a real, well, a bit more of a concerted effort, and you know they are still relying reasonably heavily on some imports. One thing I will say is Ivan Ivanetsa is on the bench for Zebras today. It's a new player for them. Burkic may have been a half shout for a free kick. That's a tremendous ball. It's Walpole again. Big save from Jones. Walpole follows up. A massive block from Milicic. Had to be on the spot there. The big captain of the Zebras. Big stop from Josh Jones as well. Walpole was well through. Nothing wrong with the shots. Jones with a smart save, and then ricocheted straight back to Walpole. I was assuming that he would put that one away, but flying in at the back post was Nick Milicic. Again, it's been a fantastic game for the neutral. Outswinger this time. Cullen's in there. Hay gets it away for now. Chigankas will try to reload for the Knights. Naden slipping into the front stick and just lifting it over the bar. Excellent run. Playing in defensive midfield, but has that nose for goal. He's played striker and winger for a long period of time. Lovely ball in from Villar. Again, no Riley Dillon for the Knights. Again, not sure the reason for that, as it's a bit late off ball from Mohammadi and Richardson. There's a few words from the referee to the bench there, just saying to stay in place as Khan Hussein comes up. I don't think Glenorchy are going to make the sub right this second. Singh seems to be okay. Sorry, I might have miscalled who that was. Didn't have the number down there. Two fullbacks. As Hussein will come on momentarily. Walpole's been good up front, so I wonder whether they will make a shift here. Is Mamic coming off? Someone's gone over that far side. It might be Chigankas who's come off. Adriano Chigankas. Comes into Villar. Back down for Naden. Away by Zebras. Again, the swing of momentum in this game. Now Knights on the front foot. Chigankas will make the lonely walk from over the far side. I think that's one of the better games that I've seen him play. Again, coming over from Canada this season. I think playing a bit more centrally this game, maybe just got him a bit more involved, but there's times where he was very creative today. And in other games, it just felt like he was often held fairly well by his marker. So maybe that little movement from Robbie Bologna and Brett Pullen, the new coaching staff at Glenorchy Knights. Let's just open him up as, again, the rain comes in sideways now here at KG5. Again, it's not super heavy. It's going to make things pretty difficult out there. The visibility is starting to get a little bit worse. And again, very glad for the wind not to be blowing the other way. Be getting very wet in the stands here. Again, do not worry about that at home. Keep sipping on those cups of tea or other beverage if you're that way inclined. Here's Singh down the line for Mamich. He gets muscled off it by Blizzard. Twos with some space. Pop back up by Jackson Richardson. Out wide now. Cuts back inside. Gordon, it's another low ball, and this time ricochets back out. And he'll just want to have it a corner, but ends up playing it back, and it's robbed off him this time by Tommy Walpole. Challenges fly in. Villar gets it out wide. Hussein with his first touch on it. Lays it off again for Walpole. Hussein with fresh legs. He's bursting through the middle. Milicic using his arms a little bit, but doesn't infringe. Low ball comes in. It's behind Mamich. Burkic will follow up, though. He's got a fair bit of time. Stands it back up to the back post. Well taken by Jones. Both keepers been active today. Divin, in all honesty, with a little bit more work to do. However, Jones, when he's been called upon, has been good. Here's Lynch. Hasn't had quite as much influence over this second half. I think Burkic is almost doing a bit of a job on him. Here he goes now, though. Does get there first in front of Cullen. Sorry, Callan. And out of play. It's been a long day here in the commentary box. I'll try and tighten that one up for you guys. Getting some other results from around the grounds. In the WSL match of the round, the Glenorchy Knights getting up 3-0 against Kingborough. A fairly clinical performance by Vita Bologna's Chargers. And in the NPL, Riverside losing to Devonport 4-1. It'll be a good rebound for Tom Ballantyne's side, who've had a few up and down results over the last few weeks. And the massive news out of Ulverston. Ulverston beating the Lions 2-1. Lynch bursting through. Goes down. It will be a penalty, potentially, or a free kick, maybe outside the box. Just outside the box, says the referee. Again, Lynch, when he gets space, he looks absolutely imperious. Gliding through the defence, and they had to bring him down there. That would have been, well, a one-on-one with the keeper, if not. However, the way he's been shooting tonight, he's hit the crossbar twice, scored a goal. Looks like he's stood over this one. Santu's just inquiring about how to go about this one. But let's see. Lynch is saying, look, I want it. I'm going to have my run up. Two's maybe just trying to throw a bit of a decoy. Definitely can be a good kind of, I wouldn't say pest, but excellent at getting his body in the way and causing a bit of chaos in there. Lynch stood over it. It's Ryan Lynch, and not the required direction to trouble Tom Divin in the Glenorchy goals. Glenorchy will get it back out straight away. It's a little bit speculative, but Burkic able to retain possession. He's been all over the ground tonight, Matt Burkic, using that running power in a very different way from his normal fullback, but playing through the midfield, playing on the wing. Been absolutely everywhere today, and a good leader's performance, I think, when they've needed it tonight. Can be, as I said, a little bit difficult to know how to react to coach leaving. Often it's up to senior players to sort of fill that void, and Burkic has led very well today. Here's Naden with a little poke over the top, but Jones is there. And Clarence will, again, it's been very direct football from both sides, which has been good. A big sliding challenge from Villar, who is on a yellow card, has to be very careful. Lucky he didn't make contact there. Hey. Nice ball into Lynch. Takes it and bangs it into the back of Callan. Will be a bit of a stinger as Naden goes through Lagoj. No foul. And then Lynch is infringing upon Villar. I think he got, from our angle, maybe looked like he got the ball. I think from the referee's angle, it looked like he went through the back of Villar, which, again, it was all about where you are on the pitch. Glenorchy will take it quickly. I think George was maybe trying to catch Jones off his line. He was a little bit far out, but a little bit of a waste in the end. And Zebras will get it back in any case. Forward again from Hatcher. Nicely controlled by Richardson. Swung out wide again. This action for Zebras has been good in the second half. Nice diagonal long balls. Walpole doubling up on the wing over there. And Lagos has plenty of space. Just play it simply into Hay. Back out to Douse. Veteran combination again linking up. Lagos. And offside, the flag does go up. As one of the goal scorers, Vic Gordon, will pull it up. Oh, shout out Paul and Andy. I feel like Victor Gordon's a really good nicknameable name. I'm not quite so confident with those. Shout out to the Stone Cold Riley Dillon of the world. Ball comes back in to Blizzard. Hay can't sort his way through Villar. Rami Villar again. He's got Hussein. Steps over it. He's got two Zebras for company. Goes left this time. Khan Hussein's in behind. Big save by Jones again. It's been fantastic in one-on-ones today. Saved two of them. Nice move by Khan Hussein. And keeper made himself big. Keeps it level for Zebras for now. Lynch starting to have a good influence over this second half. Lagos. Hatcher. Looking diagonal again. It's a lovely diagonal this time. Skips out to Lynch. Link up play beautiful. Cuts back inside. Tries to release Gordon. It does hold up for him. Cutbacks on. And he'll have to go away for the Knights. Decent ball into Villar though. Hussein tries to turn the corner. Easily read by Milicic though. Good counter press. And Mamic is away here, but with the grease on the ground, that is going to be fairly simple for Jones again. These two. Mamic is going to have to be very careful. You just no point in doing that. And does get pulled up for a free kick. Get some words from Copra as well. Referee Copra, I should say. Lynch again. Taking up some good spaces out that right side. Cuts in. Lynch. Ooh, and it's just put wide by Richardson. Really causing chaos. Diven will take the goal kick, and it looks like Glenorchy are going to make one more sub. Just getting that finalised over on this near hand side. Skips over to Hussein. Naden has been excellent today in his return to NPL action. Villar. And he's infringed again on a yellow, so we'll have to make sure he is patient. There's a few spectators just having a go at the refs at the moment. I don't really like to see that, to be honest, but anyway, we'll move on. Naden's half turn, didn't know that he had Hay behind him. So going to have to recover now. And he's throwing away a bit of rubbish. Might be a shin pad, actually, that he's thrown it away. That is a bit crafty from Naden as the ball goes out. That could be... I wonder if referees figured that out. And there goes Walpole. He picks up the shin pad and then throws it away himself. Naden will get a yellow card. And Walpole might also get a card for doing the same thing. I think someone's left a shin pad on the ground. It looks like it might be Lagos who's done that. No, maybe Gordon who's putting it back in. Naden made sure to go over, pick up the shin pad, absolutely hurl it away, and will eat a slice of cheese for his troubles. Walpole did the same thing, but I think he's escaped. As Mamic will come off. And Clothier will come on, or Clotier. If you're a French-Canadian, we'll go with the Clothier pronunciation. We'll try to clarify that one day. Clotier. And they are just sorting out some stuff behind play. Clothier mainly played in central midfield for the Knights this season, and he looks like he's lining up here on the left wing. So another one of these interesting changes with the change of coach for the Knights. And Zebras tactically just trying to release Lynch a little bit more. He's playing a free role in the 10, but drifting nice and wide. Lynch will release Hay. The through ball for Richardson. Again, it just does hold up on the ground a little bit, but given well out. Interestingly, not making the subs for the players on yellow cards, so the Knights will have to manage that still. Hussein. Beaten to it by Hatcher. Here's Naden. He'll waltz through the middle again. Big sliding challenge. Got there first. And rebound will come through Lagos. It's a lovely little ball out to Victor Gordon. Stood back up. Away by George. Forward ball from Villar is to no one. And Milicic easily taking it. Here's Douse. Gordon. Ball coming through and away by Milicic. Ball coming in. Again, they're coming through well. Long ball. Jones has to be clean and gets a little fist on it, and it will go out for a corner. Clothier was in an interesting spot, but well away by the Zebras keeper in the end. Corner again. Near stick this time. Blizzard's header's right up in the air. Milicic will clear it away. Villar to intercept. Here's Milicic. Villar gets a foot on. Milicic goes in very hard. I think George was fearing for his life there. Milicic got the ball, but I think if George went in, he might have lost a limb. And offside is Clothier on this near side. And all action here this game. Closing in on 10 minutes to go. Can either side break this deadlock? Ivanatsa is coming on. Jackson Richardson will make way for, I think, one of the new signings for Zebras. And he'll just slot in potentially to midfield. Looks like Michael Hatcher's actually going up forward for Zebras, and Jaden Hay maybe sliding back to centre back. Interesting tactical tweak from Brian Murphy and the Zebras coaching staff. Hay's been pretty good since coming on. Interesting to move him out of that middle spot. He collects well, and he's such an experienced player, that type of player that will be good at the back there. Here's Hatcher using his physicality. He goes straight through Singh. And looks like he's got a bit of cramp on the way out there. Harkarat Singh. Yeah, he's Knights are moving on while their player's down. It's unfortunate for them. Singh dealing with cramp. Just trying to think if they've got any sort of like-for-like subs on the bench. Can't see him at the moment. Maybe Jacob Etherington coming on. We'll see. Singh gets back up though. Knights with the ball. Walpole surrounded by two Zebras players and judged to have earned a free kick. Good position for the Knights to swing one in here. Villar looks like he will cue this one up for the Knights. Swung in, George is there. Clothier with the header. Back in and away by Dowse. Lynch in a one-on-one. Burkic is going to have to best to get there first and does put it back. It's slightly under hit, but Diven will hoof it away. And I don't know, Villar just didn't contest that at all. Lagoz. Through ball from Ivanetza, and then that's away. Offside for twos. Minutes to play here at KG5. I think both teams just trying to figure out their structure in this last 10 minutes. Hay is getting put under pressure by Hussein, the mix of youth and experience in that matchup. Clothier, Burkic has Lynch up for company. Lynch wins the ball. Hatcher, who's come up forward, putting that bigger frame around Diven. Doesn't have much short, so he goes long. Blizzard with a free head. Easy ball to Burkic. Clothier and Singh. Glenorchy have looked pretty good today, honestly. I wasn't sure what to expect coming into this one, and I think encouraging signs that they'll be able to run the rest of this season out, but potentially for them will come down to some of these other matchups. Here's Walpole. And Hussein just draining offside. A few of those in this second half. Strong defensive lines. Yeah, as I was saying, point does help Knights a little bit. Again, I don't think they're under real threat of relegation, but that might be, you know, me sort of putting the Tottenhams in them a little bit. Don't think they're almost too big to go down, but they definitely not. They're only a few points clear of Lonnie United. Blizzard will take the throw. As Zebras look to push to win the game here. Hatcher. We'll throw it back to Blizzard. And that is a foul throw. I was just about to say that was borderline. Don't often see them paid in senior football. It's more juniors and social football that people really love to call them, but definitely didn't go behind his head. Singh throws it in. A little bicycle is Villar. Clothier slips over. Hay. Hussein for company. Blocked off. Lots and lots of physicality in this area of the pitch. Hay goes in. Naden comes away. I think Walpole was maybe just a tad offside anyway. And yeah, no real love lost between these two teams. It's been a very chippy matchup. Overlapping run comes in from Evanetza. And away by the Knights. Only as far as twos though. Hussein. Villar was just over the halfway line. Offside does get called only just. He almost stayed in his half. Nice ball from Hussein, and the ref's right onto the offside calls this half. Overlapping run comes again from Gordon. And marshalled out by Nick Naden. One more sub getting readied by Zebra's coaching staff. Looks like Caleb Haas potentially one of them. Looks like he's sticking his bid back on for now. So they'll take the corner. It'll be Keenan Dowse. Big in-swinger. Punched away. One-on-one here for Lynch. Up and away by Naden. Fans very tense here in the stands. Can anyone break the deadlock? Knights maybe away with a good bounce here. Villar, he's got players over the far side. Has to get around Lagoz. They're all coming for the Knights player at the moment. And Two's making a defensive run and plays it out of play in the end. Doesn't want to concede the corner. Five minutes to play. It's very tense here at the moment. There's been a lot of late winners, or at least late tying goals over the last few weeks. Zebras being on the end, well, good end of one of them, tying up the game at Valley Road a few weeks ago. Ball comes in and away by Milicic. Ooh, it's a physical challenge, but marshalled well by both of the players. Chip over the top from Walpole, who's been lively today. And Milicic has also been everywhere at the back for the Zebras. To all the score line. Slipping into 5 minutes to play. Mohammadi throws it in. Doesn't get the nicest return pass from his other player. Skips in front of Hussein and away by Blizzard. Naden coming in again. Running strong forward. It's Naden. And no real power on his left foot. And Jones, who's had to make some very important saves. Not going to beat him with something like that. Burkic makes the challenge. Gordon will get the ball that squirts through though. Cutting inside. Goes on that left foot. It's a raking ball. Lynch was hanging out at the back stick, but sort of one of those ones where it's half cross, half shot. As looks like the Zebras will make their last couple of changes. Oliver Jones coming on, as well as Caleb Haas. Haas scoring that game-tying goal against Strikers a few weeks ago. Sam Two's coming off, and Elliot Lagoz as well coming off for Clarence. So, last roll of the dice for Zebras. If it does remain 2-2, I kind of wonder who will be happier with that. I think been a trend of 3 draws in a row for the Zebras potentially. I think they'll be a little bit disappointed, whereas a point for the Glenorchy, again, given the situation they've just been in, I feel like you'd take it, even though they were leading in this game. Here's Lynch. Burkic again with an excellent recovery run. Hatcher almost turns his marker, and away by Diven. Hay, almost getting it stuck under his feet. Play it back to Josh Jones. Forward ball, Hatcher with a flick on, that's why he's up there. Lynch turns his player, does get held up. And Lynch wanting more than a free kick. And that will be a yellow card for Callan. A few yellow cards flying around for the Knights. Remy Villar with one, I think Nick Naden with another. And now Jack Callan with a yellow card. Some interesting chat from some of the supporters, like yelling at the fourth official over here. It's obviously Just... Sorry, I don't mean to get distracted with the chat, but it's just wrong. Referee sorted it out. Here goes Lynch. And away by Naden. Bombs it long. Hussein pokes it around the corner. It's going to be in a foot race with Hay, but that's coolly done by the veteran Hay. Do they lose the ball out on that wide side? Or are they going to throw in? And 2 minutes to play in regulation. Zebras pushing for the win here. Away by Callan. They bring it down. Walpole. Walpole again. It's hard. Khan Hussein poking around the corner. Walpole gets there first. It's a one-on-one. He's got Clothier in the middle. Will he take it himself? It's just a heavy touch. And Blizzard around to make the challenge. Gordon's going to have to make a good clearance. It's a little bit under hit. Followed up well. Jones with another big save. Good shot from Villar. And this game keeps delivering big moments. Josh Jones with 3 huge saves for the Zebras. That one might be the most important of them all. He's saved 2 one-on-ones, and then that one was going bottom bins. And I did just hear the Glenorchy Knights coach sort of, I wasn't saying to stop pushing, but he was just saying nothing silly, hit the channels. So I thought they were going to shut up shop for a minute, but again, these counter-attacks have been pretty potent. Walpole has been very lively tonight. It's been good to see his return to the wing spot. Comes back in. Clothier's in there. And away. Jones will take. Caleb Haas trying to do a fancy little chop spin. Doesn't quite come off for him. Bouncing ball in there. Douse will get the overlap. Hatcher with plenty of space. He's galloping forward. Goes on his right. Here's Lynch. Goes back for Hatcher. Diven's going to have to come. It's a big slide. And Diven's down and looks hurt. And the foul is on Clarence. And I think both players are hurt there. It was a big sliding challenge from Hatcher. Diven had to come. That was something a keeper just has to go for. And I think both players are okay, thankfully. Just having a bit of a breath.
Josh, what's this?
Diven will take. Sorry, just waiting for that to sort out a little bit. And a card as well. A little slice of cheese. A few cards today. Again, been a very little chippy contest. Fairly physical and a few challenges flying in. A few words to be said. And a bit of a rivalry this game. I wouldn't say it's a classic rivalry, but over the last few seasons, and given their positions on the table, very close together. That's the way it goes. Here's Lynch. Goes around one. It's Lynch again. And it's away again by Mohammadi. Naden bursting his way through. He's definitely being fouled and held up there. Has to make that challenge, Jones, though. And he will eat a slice of cheese for it. One of those ones you take every day of the week on the counter-attack. Big professional foul, but again, as a fresh sub, no real risk in that. Our only real risk is if you get beaten. Another yellow card Copra dishing them out at the moment. Well into Copra time as well. 3 minutes into stoppage here. Can the Knights muster something at the death? Naden gets a bit of space. Can he pull it down? Hussein's in there too. Now Gordon, doesn't he have space? Burkic will try and hold it in. Uses his body well. Again, the captain, Matt Burkic. He's had a good game and he's shown some good leadership. Ford goes in. Ian Clothier. No one in the box though. Milicic will just clear. Up in the air. Mohammedi goes. Doesn't matter. Haas turns around. And pushing forward again. Flying forward now, Clarence. Turns back inside. It's Lynch again. And it's away. Ricochets around. Naden. Burkic. And they release once more. Khan Hussein goes around Douse. He should have a bit of space to run into. He's got Milicic for company. Hussein just keeps going. Lots of black shirts around him. No free kick. And Zebras will come away. Jones a little bit too strong on that touch. And a big body by Villar. Trying to release Naden again, who's gone forward. It's a good ball in. No one there though. Burkic, not sure whether to attack it or not. Ends up just holding it up and then sending it wide. Well into stoppage time here. Knights have to be close to something. And it goes away again. Will the referee blow? Singh with a speculative one, and that will be full time here at KG5. A 2-all draw. I mean, an entertaining sort of game. A third draw in a row for Clarence Zebras. And for Knights, a fairly valuable point at this stage of the year. They're just trying to maintain their gap to the chasing pack for relegation. It's been a barnstorming game with plenty of fire on the field and some off it as well. Interesting to see how fans feel about that one from both sides, whether they'll take it, whether they'd rather leave it. But in the end, it will end up knotted up here at KG5 2-all. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. I hope you've enjoyed the day of football, especially after some of you have been up early for the Socceroos game. So thanks again, and big slate of games next week as well, so keep your eyes peeled on social media for that. But for now, it ends 2-2 here at KGV.